It's Bunkie Week. If you've seen our earlier episodes, you'll know that we're trying to build our cabin and our little micro cabin, our bunkie, here at the property. Well, I'm here because it's that week. Mouse and I were online trying to figure out the best way we could make better use of our space. We found a company that builds bunkies. We've ordered one of those. It should be coming in next month.
So someone's getting ready for his epic building trip, and I have to say I really love shopping here because they have this like Frank line. Frank carries the load, Frank gets it done. They have so many Frank things in here. It's the Canadian Tire brand.
I need some trail mix as well. I need Frank's trail mix as well.
Okay, so yeah, so what are we getting?
Okay, we're grabbing some Frank's trash bags. I've got some stuff for the skeeter vac. I know I'm going to get bitten at some point. And some anti-mosquito stuff.
I don't wanna
I got an email a week ago saying that our bunkie is being shipped from Ontario and it should be here in the next couple of days. Bunkie is arriving on Wednesday. Today is Saturday, so I've got about 4 days to get everything cleaned up and ready. And we made good inroads last time. Like when Mouse and I came out, we got a good load of the stuff chopped up and cleared away. I still have a little bit more to do at that end, but first I got to get everything out the truck and set up a bit of a base camp. I suspect over the next few days, putting a little bit of effort in, a bit of physical labor, I'm going to need to rehydrate a lot. It's actually really nice today. It's like 22 degrees, I think. So, yeah, stay hydrated, people. Well, the truck's hydrated. So yeah, it is about 2:30 right now. That gives me about 3 hours or so to try and make a bit of a dent, or at least cutting that debris up. Brought the chipper with me, which we got. I might do a separate video on that because that's actually a pretty cool machine. We got that so that we can try and get rid of some of this debris, chip it up, and then take it down to the garden drop off, or the green drop off, rather than having to take all the branches, because the branches are so cumbersome to load into the trailer. So I figure we can probably get more volume wise if I use the chipper. See, my original idea was to do it in the trailer so I don't have to pick it up, but the problem is because it comes out at such a force, it just goes everywhere anyway. So what I'm going to do is grab a tarp and put a tarp over the top so it blows it under the tarp. All right, let's try that again. End of day one, or day zero. So this area here was just a big pile of brush that needed to be cleaned up. So that's all been chipped and is now taking up substantially less amount of space here in the back of the trailer. So then tomorrow morning I should be able to start, get these limbed, get them all piled up and then shredded or chipped. And hopefully tomorrow afternoon, that means I can slice up these big ones and pull them out the way. It is now 5:03 and I've now been awake for 12 hours, including a 5-hour drive. So I'm going to call it quits for now. I got this awesome little travel fork, knife and spoon set I actually got it for one of my daughters because she was going camping with school. So we've got this little thing, and basically all the things clip together. I can't get them out though. Oh, there we go.
Good morning. It's another beautiful day. And it's Sunday. I don't want to start too early, like with chainsaws and chippers and engines ripping around, because we do have a few neighbors in the area. Not too close, but I'm trying to be a bit mindful that it is Sunday. It is 7:30 a.m. So I'm just going to take a few hours to get orientated, get an idea for the day, go see the lake, and have some breakfast.
Oh! My first cup of tea in about 3 days. I just spilled it everywhere. Okay, if you live in Canada and you happen to live near a Dollarama, I cannot recommend these cookies enough. These things, like every time they get them in stock, it's like grab a couple because they're great for camping and they're great for just so good. Just so good. I'm trying not to lose sight of the main scope here, and that is that where the trailer is there, we need to bring this round because this is where I'm going to be driving through with the bunkie stuff. So if I can get everything on this side or this side of the log cleared away and gone, and then over here where I've got those 3 logs lying down, that is kind of the site where we've kind of going to put the bunkie in that area there. So once I've got these out the way, I can then work on getting those cleaned up. It's kind of one of those things where you just keep chipping away at it, and every so often I'm like, oh my god, there's so much stuff here. I'm thinking maybe another full day on that is going to give me exactly what I need. So that puts me 1 day behind Matty's schedule. I'm absolutely pooped, and it's nearly 7 o'clock now, so I've had enough. That chunk sound you can hear is the diesel heater. If you've seen one of our previous episodes, I equipped the rooftop tent with a diesel heater on the truck because we were going camping a few times and it was really quite cold in the morning. This morning was a little chilly, and it was about 8 degrees when I woke up. But tomorrow morning is apparently going to be 3 degrees. So I've hooked up the diesel heater just so that we can try and get some sort of warmish start to the day. Looks like another nice day, but it is bloody cold. It was a cold one last night, but right now it's about 3 degrees Celsius. So I'll just keep the diesel heater on, and it's starting to come nice and toasty in the tent. But I've just been outside, and yeah, it's pretty chilly.
All right, so I just checked the weather report for today, and it's going to remain dry, but it is going to be a lot cooler than yesterday. Yesterday was about 22. Today's going to be about 15. So there's also a bit of a breezy wind coming through. You can see from the trees, they're all just swaying away. So it should be a little bit nicer to work in because it's going to be a little bit cooler. But right now it's about 10 degrees and it's a bit chilly. So yesterday when my neighbor came over and we were having a chat, he mentioned that his lot was a lot like ours until they took the trees down. They had apparently a cougar living on their property for about 2 months and they didn't even realize it. Needless to say, I didn't sleep as well last night because every little crack and twig break, I'm like, oh, okay, what's that? Now, I was just on the phone with the gravel people, getting that all tied up, ready to come in. And as I'm stood here, I don't know if it was a fox, like a gray fox or something like that, wandered down the driveway, stopped, sat on one of the tree stumps that we have, and just watched me for like 10, 20 seconds. Then got up and wandered away. And I was on the phone with these gravel people, so I'm like, I can't take a picture of this because nobody's going to believe me that I just stare down with a fox. So far I've had a deer and a fox. Let's hope they don't get any bigger. So I was trying to get these logs all lined up, ready to pull them out. And I heard a huge crack. I found a big problem I'm going to have to deal with. So I'm going to have to try and deal with that somehow. I don't know what I'm going to do about that. So after a bit of close-up inspection on the tree of impending doom, at the top it's actually snagged up by I think 4 other trees at the top there. So then they're all kind of holding it up. You can probably see this one here and this one here. Oh, no, this one here, that's it. And then there's a couple others at the top there. So what I've done is I've spray tagged where the cracks are, just so I can keep an eye on it and see if the cracks spread. And I'm going to have a chat with the tree guy to come in and do that, because that's just a little bit outside my comfort zone. I have been kind of reevaluating where this bunkie is going to go. And I decided to move it forward a little bit from our original plan. That's because there's a few extra trees in that area that look a little bit shady and need to come down. Plus moving it to here gives it a bit more sunlight for now. And I think this is going to be a better spot. Unfortunately, there are 2 stumps that are in the way. So I have a bit of extra time now because the gravel isn't coming until Wednesday, the same time as the bunkie. But I also want to mark out where the bunkie is going to go, just to give me a better idea of what we're doing here. So we've got a lot of the cleanup done. Yeah, have we really? No, we haven't even made a dent. I've got the cleanup that I need to do, mostly done. And I've got a lot of it loaded into the trailer, ready to go to the dump. And because that means that I have to collapse the tent, and it's a little bit of effort, I'm going to stop in town, do a couple of errands, pick up some stuff that we need for the foundation stuff. So I'm going to get all that picked up in one round trip so that hopefully tomorrow I don't actually have to go anywhere. I just drove all the way to the dump to realise that I'd forgotten my shovel. And I need the shovel to get all the wood chippings out. Let's try this again. Our little trailer couldn't do it all in one go, so we had to do the concrete blocks and the plywood on the first run. And this time I have the lumber to build the foundation.
Good morning, day 3. Day 4. So today I'm going to be working on the final prep for the site. The gravel is coming tomorrow morning, nice and early. So what I'm going to do today is the main things I have to get done. Just clean up these last few bits of debris over here. I want to map out exactly where the bunkie is going with some stakes and some tape. Now the manuals that Bunkie Life give you are all digital, so they're all on PDF. Now I could have printed them, but I'm a techie guy, so I brought my iPad. So the main thing I'm looking at today is the foundation layout. Just trying to work out exactly how big the bunkie is and where these blocks are going to go. I think I might actually place them out just so we have a good idea of where they're going to go. And then I can address any hidden stumps or hidden stuff that needs to be taken care of. All right, there we go. So within a couple of inches, that is the footprint of the bunkie. So it's roughly 12 inches deep, 14 wide. Okay, that's roughly how big it is anyway. All the sides measure up. So now we can see where it's going to go. The challenge is, you can see it slopes off a little bit here towards the front. Those two sides are fairly level. The back is a little bit higher and this one slopes down. So we need a little bit more gravel on that side to lift the pads up, but I think that should be doable. Just had a minor drone mishap. I programmed a flight to do a flyby over the top while I was unloading the timber, but it seemed to think that it had to do it at a higher altitude. So I just went straight up into the tree canopy and then did a nosedive into the ground. So luckily he's okay. We did a quick test flight. Last night was really rough. Apart from it being like 4 degrees, there were quite a lot of animal sounds last night. So I woke up around 1 a.m. Wolves howling in the distance. Bits of movement around the twigs and the ground. And then by 1:30 I'm Googling, will a tent protect me if a wolf jumps at it? Apparently, most animals will give a tent a wide berth or they'll come up, investigate it and leave. The more worrying paragraph underneath it said, if you can hear them, they're usually prey animals. It's the hunters that you won't hear because they're silent. Great. Check this out. We gotta stay really quiet, really still. Okay, so now they're just really curious and they're not leaving. They're like, who's this guy? In our feeding grounds. See you next time. Holy crap. I was just driving up the driveway, turning onto the road, and a bear just ran down the road and off into the forest at the end. Holy crap. So now I've got deer, wolves, bears, squirrels. I am not gonna sleep tonight. Okay, gravel's just been delivered. Nice guy, brilliant company. I just dropped it off. I think I might need more. 4 cubic yards sounds a lot. It doesn't look a lot. So just had a rather unfortunate turn of events. I stopped in to get a price for a stump grinder, and as I was coming out I hit a pothole, a big pothole with the trailer, and now it's just vibrating on that side. So I managed to call in at one of these tire shops, who very kindly offered to take a quick look at it for me. Okay, so the first guy I stopped in confirmed that there is a problem with the trailer bearings and they need to be replaced, and I cannot make it home with the quad in the back and actually make it. Downside is that he cannot fit me in until 2 weeks out. So now I'm just bombing around trying to find somebody who might be able to do it for me. Worst case, I'm going to have to leave it with them and then come back in a couple of weeks. But the downside to all this is the cabin kit arrives in 3 hours, and they're going to be dropping that at the gate. I then have to move it from the gate to the build site, which is a good 100 meters, something like that. And I'm going to have to do that all by hand. That sucks. I am going to be very cranky later on tonight. Alright, I've been to 6 places now, and nobody can help me until the 20th at the earliest. Just for context, it's the 7th today.
So here I am, sitting in my office, minding my own business, doing my work, and I get all these progressively panicky text messages from my husband saying that one of the trailer wheels has gone a little wibbly wobbly timey wimey. And I've never felt more useless in my life because I can't help him. He needs that trailer to move the roof beams, not to mention get the ATV back here next week. And I feel useless. I can't help him. I'm 4.5 hours away. I have some ideas. I have some plans. No, I don't have any plans. What am I talking about? He's going to have to come up with a plan. I've got some ideas. I think I'm going to put in a FaceTime call to his dad, who is a mechanic and who will know exactly what wheel bearings are and stuff. I've already YouTubed how to change wheel bearings on a trailer. Because, yeah, apparently it's the wheel bearings, according to one mechanic. So, let's see what happens.
So I have just got a new best buddy. Sorry, Jody. This guy was amazing. So just had a chat with the chap over at Lone Butte Towing and Auto Repair. He's happy to take a look at it for me probably next week, which is a lot sooner. I'm going to drop it off tomorrow and he can take a look at it and squeeze it in for me, which is going to be fantastic. And, oh, I've got Mouse calling me. Hang on a second. Okay, as I was saying, just stopped in to see Al at Lone Butte Towing there. Fantastic guy. Greased up my nipples on the trailer to repack the grease in there. The trailer seems to be handling a little bit better now, since it's all greased. He also took the cap off and found that one of the nuts actually wasn't tight enough. So he did that, and that's corrected a little bit of it. But you know, I'm still going to drop it off tomorrow with him. Just to, even if there's nothing wrong, it's going to put my mind at ease that it is all good to take back home. I am zapped. I am burnt out now, running around trying to find a mechanic. Okay, let's see what we're working with. from a level perspective. So you can see there it is a bit slopes off to that corner there, and these two may be fairly close. I am going to be pulling the square this way a little bit, so we'll see how that affects things. So the foundation that we're going with is the basic floating foundation, something like that. So I had a bit of a challenge, my local hardware store being able to pick up the right lumber. We had no 6x6s in stock, so I've got some 2x6s, and I'm going to laminate those together to create the 6x6 supported weight as needed. I'm also going to take an 2x8 and put it across the front and the back of all the joists, so they're all tied together, and there's going to be no movement between them. Where am I going to put you today? I don't know what I've done with my tripod. There we go. After finally getting these spaced out evenly at 37.75 inches apart on center, I realized that it actually tells me that in the instruction book. So read the instructions, kids. That could have saved some time. Practically level. So that's awesome. I know, I can hear you screaming at the YouTube player that I should get the others laid out first to see where else I have to dig. Good thinking. On a more personal note, I am really fed up right now. The trailer thing really cut into the foundation time, and as a result, because I'm going to drop it off tomorrow, it means I've got to move all that gravel and the heavy bunkie components today. And I know it's these things just happen, but I had because I had specific goals for each day, and I feel like I'm falling behind. And I've got time, I'm here for a week, so I've got time to work on this, but I feel like I'm not meeting my own self-imposed deadlines. And it's really depressing when like this happens, when you're trying to make progress and then something else happens along the way. And now I'm in analysis paralysis when I'm looking at the foundation. The amount that I have to do, digging out the holes, putting the gravel, compacting it, getting them all level. That, and it's hot as hell. It's at 27 degrees. The anti-mosquito sprays have stopped working, even though I've been reapplying them. I'm dehydrated. I'm sweaty. I'm dirty. I'm fed up. And I know it's all these little challenges that you run along to that are going to make it worthwhile, but I'm just having a real hard time keeping my anxiety in check. I hear a big heavy truck, which means the bunkie is here.
here. Like a glove.
Oh,
Did you think I said?
I thought you said freaky love, and I'm like,
Okay, door's back on. It's not perfect.
I am now at peace with things not being perfect.